Welcome back to the Beat 139. I'm Doc.
I'm Don Vito. How everybody doing?
Welcome, folks. I'm Callie.
All right, so we have a second guest for the evening. Harlem is in the building once again. This lady right here is she's doing some amazing things. She's an author. She does a lot of things. She goes by the name of Miss T. She has a book out titled Harlem Heroine, and she's also has a lot of stories to tell. Just like my man Gangsta Lou just left. We got a woman's version of Harlem back in the days and
right.
coming up to now. Don't let the pretty face fool you. This lady right here, she about her business, and we love Harlem. We support Harlem. So, Miss T, just tell everybody, where you from and a little bit about your past, and we bring it on up.
All right, I'm from Harlem, 134th and 8th Avenue.
Okay.
Well, my book is a Harlem Heroine or Heroine is a double meaning. Heroine describes the street life, the game in a whole, and heroine is the fact that I'm able to sit here today.
Wow.
And it's based in the 80s and 90s, and I've seen a lot, I've been through a lot, and I'm here.
Yeah.
Blessings.
So, where did it all start for you? What inspired you to start writing about the street tale? Tell the people like your past, how you grew up a little bit.
I grew up in a 2-parent household, was given everything, but the street life is what drew me to the streets. Like, I didn't have to be out there.
Mm-hmm.
My father was a businessman. My mother worked, in a hospital doing nursing. So, but just the lights and like I describe Harlem as the stage, and just being out there. And I love the money. So, I started hustling real early, not because I had to, I made the choice to do that.
Right.
Because I tell people all the time, and I talk to, older people who have children, sometimes you could give your kids the best. You instill certain things in them.
Facts.
But if those outside influences is calling them, that's it. But we will always remember what we were taught. So, but, I loved money and I wanted to hustle. So I started hustling early. And, that's what my book is about, or my life is about, hustling and dealing with certain men in the street who were very well known or, in some way very influential to the game.
What you mean you started hustling early? What you talking about?
Started selling dust.
Give us a story. You want to hear a little story?
Started selling dust on
Yeah,
123rd.
talk about it.
Anybody who knows 123rd
123rd
Street
legendary.
Absolutely.
is absolutely.
That's
So,
like the mecca that
It
dust.
wasn't just
Exactly.
the PAL, some other things going
No.
on.
Yeah, it's the mecca of the dust.
Yes,
Right.
it is. Yes, it is.
In my hood.
Yeah, absolutely. Three
Yeah.
stripes and all that type of stuff. But good.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I was down there
Yeah.
with my little skinny self, with my little Louis Vuitton bag full of dust called dynamite.
Okay.
So that's where it started at. And like you said, 123rd is legendary. You had, some people might think it's 116th Street, but it was definitely 123rd. But at the time, I really didn't know who I was really around. I just knew it was crowded.
right.
It was packed out there and everybody was hustling.
Right.
And that's how it started.
Because that block known, so when you say 123rd, okay, that's a dust block. Like
Yeah.
that block when it comes to that.
123rd, yeah.
In Harlem, it was too many dust
Seventh.
known blocks. Like
Yeah.
it was that
Yeah,
block,
23rd
my
Street,
block,
yeah.
boy, 116.
Yeah. When
like,
you said I'm going 23rd Street, they knew what it
know,
was. You ain't had to say no more.
That dust heads, the ones who come from like Yonkers, Mount Vernon,
Yeah.
they know like 123rd. Like,
And what was that like?
To me, it was exciting because again, I was out there with everybody else hustling, doing what I wanted to do, and getting some money. My uncle actually, Wild Al, rest in peace, he gave me the dust, and I was out there.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was more like the excitement for you, right?
Yeah.
Your
the
own
money
moves,
came
your
from
own
it,
time, the money.
Yeah.
All right. So do you ever do any time behind? You ever get caught?
No, I never got caught for that. I've been under investigation and followed under physical surveillance for other things.
Okay, we don't have to talk about that. So you grew up in back in the days when Harlem was real. And a lot of people was getting money, and you started getting money. And so once you started getting money, so how did you feel? You see, you like that money.
I don't always felt good, but I mean, I was getting a little something, but I always ended up with a guy who was out there doing their thing.
Okay.
You know, the first guy that I dealt with at 16, he was getting money in Richmond, Virginia, Washington, D.C.
Right.
You know, I had my first MCM bag in the 80s, like 86. So,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
I told you them bags is
oh,
back then.
right.
They came back out.
Yeah.
And it came from DC. That's where they, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, I've always ended up dealing with a particular person that was in the street who was doing their thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what would you say? What was the change in you after you started doing your own thing prior to when you wasn't?
I always was in that life. If it wasn't me doing it, again, I was with,
Someone who was.
Yeah, the Fritz era, different eras. So yeah.
Right.
So in your book, can you explain to people like the details of your book?
Well, actually, I wrote the book because I lost my brother in 2000.
Who's your
Baby
brother?
J,
Okay.
Jermaine. So everybody kind of know who he is or who he was, and his death almost killed me. Like I never felt pain like that before,
To the streets.
Oh yeah.
To the streets.
So like 5 years later, I was still hurting. Moved to Atlanta because I was like going crazy. But I said, you know what, I'm gonna write a book. But within writing it, it was therapeutic. But I realized that I had a story to tell because so much had happened to me. In the 90s, I had been shot.
So the book is based off your experiences.
No, it's not even
general.
based. It's true.
It is.
It's
Okay.
facts.
Right.
Like everything in there is facts.
Okay.
And I described the fact that the lifestyle is not what everybody thought it was. Everybody see the cars, jewelry, partying, popping champagne, but they don't realize. And I'm, as a guy, I don't know if you guys were out there like that, but it was a whole.
We was around.
There was a whole nother life behind that. The stress.
Right.
People getting killed. You got
besides the glitz and the
yeah.
glamour, right?
So can you go back? You said you was shot and just went over everyone.
Huh?
You said you've been shot.
I've been shot.
Like,
I've been
so
tied up in my house for money when I was pregnant with my daughter.
Can you get into see people in the Beat 139 audience? They love stories. They said we don't get the stories out of people like they want to.
The real stories, like you just said.
No,
real
so can you go
stories,
into like more if you can?
All right, like
That's not gonna tell too much of the book.
Exactly.
Give us some more
Exactly.
detail
But the kid, if you want somebody to buy the book, you got to give them a reason to buy it.
Yeah,
okay,
give
let me
some
go back
juicy
to the game.
details of it.
I was dealing with, my daughter's father. He was a partner of Fritz. Everybody know who Fritz was. He was the consignment king. And a consignment king is where you get coke, you don't pay for it up front, and he did that with basically everybody in Harlem who wanted to hustle. So I started dealing with his partner. We started living together, whatever. He ended up getting locked up. And I took over his business because I wanted to, because I didn't want nobody over my money. But like I said, when you do that, there's always people close to you who's going to do you the most harm most of the time. 98% of the time, it's always going to be somebody
you
that's
trust.
very close to your like family is going to do you the most harm. So, I was taking care of his business, and I got set up. I was doing business out of one place because I didn't want to do it out of my home. And I ended up getting set up. Somebody sent somebody to my house. They tied me up. And, my thing is, I didn't care about the money. I was pregnant with my daughter. My only thing was, don't kill me and my daughter. I knew they couldn't take the safe because it was heavy as hell. So I'm like, okay. So I had to play the cards that I was dealt at the time.
Right.
I actually told them to tie me up. Because I was like, okay, it's either that. I needed to make them feel comfortable.
Right. Like you're not trying to try something. Right.
So, they did that. They took the money and they, went on. It took me a long time, but I ended up finding out. That's why I tell people, anything in the dark will come to light. But again, that was the consequences of the choices that I made. And like I said, everybody thought the game was glitz and glamour. It's like, no, these are the things that's happening.
Behind
Do you
it,
feel that they tied you up? You feel that they tied you up because you was a female and you took over? You say you took over for Fritz, right?
No,
she said she asked them to tie.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying though, but you feel that they came at you because you was a female in the game, opposed to being a male in the game?
I think it was because somebody in my daughter's father's crew felt some type of way about me handling it.
Okay.
While he in jail.
Right.
Right.
You know, so I felt, you know, they probably feel like, oh, she's a
Someone
female.
close.
Why he leave it with her to her?
Mhm.
Because I knew the game.
Right.
You know, so that's why.
All right, so when they tied you up, you pregnant, they shot you?
No. They didn't shoot
Oh, you got
me.
shot.
Another time.
Uh,
Yeah, I got robbed in 91. I got shot in 94.
Right.
Wow.
So, like I was saying, right? Well, the reason why I said a female in the game because I knew females that was in the game also, but they had a team behind them. So dude wasn't even gonna think of coming at them because they knew they had to deal with them. Did you have a team behind you, or you just on your own?
I wouldn't say I was on my own. Listen, I kept a goon. I kept a
Right.
team of somebody who I knew that I could go to.
There you go.
The people that I had hustling, they wasn't built like that.
Okay.
You know, after I got robbed, then I went uptown.
Right.
You know, everybody know Lou Sims.
Yeah.
That was my ex, but I could still go to them and say, listen, this is what happened. And this is what I need done. Had I found them, you know, because I
Right.
put it out, this is what I want to happen. You know, but I always kept somebody.
So,
Always had somebody.
So you said your boyfriend was Fritz's partner, so you just kept dealing with Fritz, right? It stayed the same?
Well, if everybody know the story of Fritz, Fritz wasn't really himself. He ended up getting sick. You know what I'm saying? So he really couldn't do,
at this time?
at this time. He's
Okay.
the one who told me to buy the safe in the first place. So yeah, I mean he was there, but I couldn't go to him for help.
Right.
You know, I had to go uptown, you know, and that's it.
So what made you like? I don't want to know how long you was in the game, but what made you say, you know what? Let me leave this alone.
After my little brother got killed,
Baby
the
J.
streets was not fun for me anymore.
That's
like the game wasn't fun. You know, I it just wasn't.
So Baby
what
J,
it
your
was.
biological brother?
No.
Jermaine.
Jermaine.
It's on Harris, right?
No, Baby
No,
J.
you talking
I know
about
Baby J.
Jermaine and
Yeah.
No. I met Jermaine when he was 15. He started going with my little sister. But even after they broke up, like we were family.
Okay.
Like he held me down and we held him down. So we was thicker than blood. Yeah, and anybody who know him and know me know that.
He got killed out of town, right?
No, he got killed in New York. Lennox.
Lennox.
Yeah, I thought it was down in NC or some shit like that.
Nah, he got killed here.
No.
So
he's in your book?
It wouldn't be a book if he had not died.
Okay.
So he's the reason for it. He's all through it. Yeah, he's the reason for it.
So once that happened, that's when you moved to Atlanta?
I moved to Atlanta like 5 years later because, you know, I had got a phone call from somebody that was close to me that was away, who's very strong. And, you know, the whole thing with Jermaine was still in the air. And I think, you know, somebody was threatening my life. They was like, yo, T, somebody saying they're going to try to kill you. But, you know, if he say it better not happen, it's not going to happen. But the thing is, he's like, listen, I'm not there. I need you to go somewhere. You know, because even though I say not to do anything to her, he's still not here to protect me.
Exactly.
So that's what made me move to Atlanta. And just kind of take my daughter with me and get myself together.
How long ago was that?
That was in 2005, early 2006. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And that's
What year did you marry till 2000,
2000.
Right?
So then that's when
I remember that.
When you transitioned.
Yeah, that's when it was like, okay. You know, because with him gone, like I said, I never felt nothing like that before. Like in that AZ got that game over, I'm in it looking real crazy. I cut my hair like that short because they had filmed some of it on Fifth Avenue. And it was the same day we was having a memorial for Jermaine. So yeah, you might get a glimpse of me looking real good. You might not even know that it's me because I was like, I lost it.
So that was your last year. Like, this is it for me. I'm transitioning. I'm getting out of here.
Yeah,
I'm not doing this drug thing no more. I'm just a clean slate. And the book.
Yep.
But you have more than one book, right?
No, I just got that.
That's the first one?
Yeah,
so what was that when I was talking to you that night? You was doing some films? You was working on a film set or something like that?
Oh, I was working on the TV show.
Right.
Yeah, friend of mine's TV show.
What was that? What was the name of that show?
It's Godfather Harlem, the Bumpy Johnson story.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Forrest Whitaker.
Are you doing a Bumpy Johnson story?
Yeah, not me, a friend of mine, but I was working in production.
Okay, that's cool. So how do you feel about how long it took you to write a book?
That it took me, well, I started in 2005. I didn't publish it until 2015, but not because of content. It was because when you writing a book, you gotta read it over and over. So I had to read all the hurtful stuff over and over again. I didn't really touch that book for probably 3 or 4 years at one point because it literally made me nauseous. I mean, I would really get sick, my stomach. And some of it was painful, but again, it was therapy. So it was 10 years.
And what I
Wow.
like what you said, the same thing like what Lou just said. Lou like his movie gonna be 100%. So when V asked you, you was like, no, this is what
Oh,
it is.
you
You
get
ain't
the good, the bad, the
you
ugly.
you giving
I'm
it
not
up.
sugarcoating nothing.
True.
All right, when I had money and when I was down to my last $5, it is what it is. That's my story,
I think those.
And I did it. I wrote it. When you read it, it's as if I'm talking to you. Like I'm reading it like it's a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And I put a little couple of messages in there because at the end of the day, like I said, people think the streets was one thing when it was something else.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in it, you're experiencing something totally different because of the stress, because we're doing something wrong in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot that comes with it. And back then and today is just so different. Is different because back then the streets was fun, although things were going on.
Mm-hmm.
People was getting killed,
Kidnapped.
kidnapped, yeah, all kind of stuff. But today it's just different. Hustling, the game is different, is over. The risk is not worth the reward like it was back then.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just really a waste of time. It's okay. Like I got a chapter in there called Street Image, and it's for my guys because it's okay to go to work. It's okay to
Absolutely.
get a check.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, I see a lot of dudes today who didn't get their shine back then, trying to get it now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what you doing? You
Right.
really wasting your time. I'll be like, what you doing?
That's
You
funny
lying about having blocks
coming
when
from
you
a female
didn't.
too. That's real.
And I'm looking, sometimes I watch the show on the gram. It's very entertaining, because it's just entertainment to me because I know who's lying.
Mm-hmm.
I know who was there and wasn't there. If you wasn't, it's okay.
Right.
It's okay to be the dude that didn't do any of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make you the cool
was
kid
the
to
friend,
lie and
someone's
say that you
friend,
was
or
doing
this
it.
one.
You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It's okay to be that dude that's working, being responsible, taking care of their kids and their families.
Mhm.
But Instagram kind of
Yeah.
social media is turning people
It's
into
called
things.
it's false media.
Yeah.
But you want to hear something though? To add on to what you're talking about, like when just before Lou got off the show, like he said, back in the days, it was love in the streets, and everybody was getting money. It was a lot. There's a lot of drama going on, but everybody's getting money, and you know who was getting money because names was out there, blocks was out there. If you was going out of town, that was out there. We used to talk about it. You know why? Because everybody was good. So, yo, where you at? Yo, I'm over here. Where you at? It was now. You don't want to tell nobody nothing because you know the code has changed a whole lot. So like you were saying, like for somebody to tell a story and you probably gonna look at them like, come on, I ain't never heard of you, man. Where you was at? All you gotta do is name a block or a location. We could tell if you tell the truth or not. Because you knew what was going on in certain areas because that's just how it was and all.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And
like,
you was in the mix, so
like,
you know exactly what was
that
going
word
on.
consignment back then, it was easy. Consignment now, she gotta be kidding.
Nobody doing that now.
I don't even think it exists.
It's easy for somebody to say like 10 of these.
Right.
How much time you need?
Oh no, 30 of these.
Or whatever, but how much time you need?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Word, all right. Hit me when you get back. Now, I be kidding.
Nobody ain't doing that.
Ain't doing that.
You're not even gonna see them.
I just gave it to you yesterday. I'm just making sure you're all right. I'm making sure you're alive.
That's if you even see them.
Yeah, that's about no goddamn.
Yeah, I just left yesterday.
Yeah, that's how it is now.
Before it was like crazy, man. So
yeah, that's why the brothers need to stick to the jobs.
You know somebody keeping it 100 with that or not, you know? But you being a female that was in that, that's like, there's probably was a few other females, but they're not going to step up to the plate and give it up how you give it up. You know what I'm saying? And I respect that. Coming from a female perspective. We always hear about what guys got to say about back in the day. Women were there too. You know what I'm saying? For you to come out and write a book is big. You know what I'm saying? And a real book at that. You know?
And touching on with Paid in Full, there's a chapter in my book called Paid in Full, which only touches on, because like I said, in the movie, it didn't really tell the real story as far as God bless the dead when Rich needed the money to get his brother. I explain all that
Mm.
because my daughter's father, Fritz, is the one who spoke to Rich and gave him what he needed to get his brother back. But everybody know the outcome of that. But yeah,
Wow.
Specific details.
Mm-hmm. It's coming out, man.
Yeah.
And that's what that's what people want to hear. So what else is in your book? How far does the story go for us?
well, it's from '85 till about 2000 and something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's the '80s and the '90s era. But I also talk about how fun it was in the streets and the block
Mm-hmm.
parties, the
Yeah, 'cause we had
jams.
fun in
You know what I'm
Harlem, man.
saying?
A lot of
Harlem
fun.
was
Yeah, a lot
fun.
of fun.
It was fun.
Harlem was fun.
Everybody
you
had
know?
block parties. No blacks
Everybody,
don't have block parties
and
now.
we used to play. We had ball players in
Yeah.
Harlem, block against block. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm talking about the Rucker, talking about 39th Street. You know what I'm saying? 45th Street. Battlegrounds. Harlem had a lot of tournaments back in them days. You know what I'm saying? And it was like dudes that was getting money. They were like the Stearns and all that. Like dudes that was getting money paid for finance the team to play against the next team.
Right.
And when they won the game, you get paid and stuff like that. Dudes, had teams like that.
Not only that,
the only thing we have now is Wi-Fi.
But even when people
so
got
we have
killed
for the
back
kids.
in the days, right? You knew, okay, he got killed because
It was
XYZ.
specific.
Now,
Yeah.
he got killed. It'd be some random shit. It'd be
Yeah.
like really?
Yeah,
It'd
yeah.
be
That's
some
what I
some
was
crazy
talking about.
shit.
Pizza.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
It'd be
simple
the
things.
dumbest or
Dumbest
some
shit.
crazy, some random shit
We
that
got
happened.
killed with something real
Back
back
then,
then. Yeah,
you
yeah.
knew
It
what
was
happened.
real, and you knew what it was about.
Right
like
now,
back,
if you go through all the dudes' names, you can go, oh, because of this. These guys, they went to war with each other because of this.
Yeah.
This of it. Now it's just like on some crazy shit.
Yeah, it's
like
bad.
back then, my little sister, I used to have her everywhere with me, but she didn't have a cell phone, but she could go from east to west, north, south. I didn't worry about her. I got a 23-year-old nephew,
Mhm.
and I'm like, yo, where you at?
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
going on? I wasn't thinking about that she would get shot or anything back then.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I got grown nephews, and I'm like, yo, where you at? What you doing? Because, like he said, this stuff that's going on out here now is random.
Mhm.
And touching on
Yeah,
what you
for
just
nothing.
said, like how the hustlers was looking out for people.
Mhm.
Like they don't do that now.
No.
Like all y'all want to be in these lounges and fronting and all that. It's crazy. Like we got youth out here that really need to be guided.
Yeah.
The PAL. It was a guy, my brother-in-law, he said it was a guy that worked at the PAL. He went and got money from the hustlers on 23rd Street,
Mhm.
and everybody had sneakers. Everybody had their basketball jerseys.
Mhm.
The hustlers paid for everything.
Yeah, he did.
Right.
They don't have that now. You
No.
know what I'm saying? I remember my daughter's father, he used to give block parties on 129th, knapsacks for back to school filled with all the school supplies. All y'all out there that's spending that money and popping them bottles, nah, they need to really take it back because our youth need that type of guidance. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's impressed with all that, especially like a chick like me or somebody who been there from back in the days. Nobody's impressed with all that. Nobody wants to see that because it you doing all that and some of y'all can't even pay y'all rent. I know a lot of y'all stories out here. Facts.
Yeah,
I know a
it's
lot
crazy.
of y'all stories out here, and it's like it's not,
But it's really it's a front. These people, they come with the bottle, they spending their rent money in the clubs. They going back home not really having much of anything, living with their parents still, their mom, their father. Like it's messed up in how the society is right now, especially for our black men, because what they have to look up to is so small. Like, because what they see, they're not seeing men working, even though of course we have our working men, but what do we see mostly, especially in Harlem, where our kids is growing up, where our kids is going to school? What are they seeing? Nothing.
When our brand ambassadors, I have a question for you.
Being that nowadays we hear a lot of people being indicted and brought up on charges on things they say in music or social media, will you curb some of the things that you say in your book in relation to yourself?
Okay, explain that. See that.
Like you have, nowadays people they're getting indicted on things that they say in their music, like
okay,
Bobby Shmurda, Kai 6ix9ine, or on social media, people, the feds actually, in people, some people inbox.
Oh no, they in everybody's. They.
Do you think that will that affect some of the things you say in relation to yourself in the book?
No, not at all. I told everything. It didn't. I wasn't really worried about anything that I wrote. Um, it's like one person's name I left out of the book because his death still might be a cold case, and I didn't want to get questioned about that just in case. But everybody that I did write about, I either wrote them if they was away or called them, and they was like, "Yo, Black, do what you got to do." They gave me their blessing. I didn't have no problem. So but yeah, I kept everything. Everything that happened is in there. Yeah. I mean, I don't think I get locked up for selling a couple of keys in the 90s, can I?
Nah.
I don't hope not.
You safe.
It is
Now you safe now. It's
only
2019.
long as you ain't about no bodies, you good.
Exactly.
Some bodies.
They
that's
cannot come
right.
back.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. But yeah, everything's in there.
So you say everything is in there.
Mm-hmm. Sex.
Do you
murder.
Would you like your book to turn into some type of movie, something like that?
I was offered that 2 years ago, and I'm still talking to the person because, like you said, I don't know them. Somebody called me on a 3-way with them, and they was like I've never read anything like this from a female perspective. Mm-hmm. He said, "You got to let me do the movie." So we still talking about that.
You ain't bring no books with you?
I did, and I left him in the car. I thought he had his copy.
Yeah,
So I know, but but no.
Oh, we have a caller. Caller?
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Is this the show?
Yes.
Hi, this is Cheryl.
Hi, Cheryl.
How are you?
Hi, Cheryl.
This is Cheryl from the Fine Eyes Book Club. I just want to say that our book club read the book, and we loved the book, and we also spoke to Miss T. She came to our book club meeting, and we had a beautiful time.
Hi, Cheryl. I remember. I love those girls. Yeah, I went out.
Yeah.
To
And listen, what I love about the book is that it's a female perspective, and I really think that it would be great to have a movie off of that book to see the female side. Every time we see a movie about this stuff, it's always from a male perspective.
I want to see it too, Cheryl.
We definitely thank you for calling. You gonna share the video on Facebook?
Yes, I am. Of course I am.
Yeah, we love that
thanks
support.
for having Miss T. We love her. And thanks for taking my call.
Nah, definitely. I'm glad you called.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Yeah, that's love right there.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's love right there.
Because like I was saying, the female perspective is big because you don't have too many females that's like giving their opinion on how things come. It's always the guy part, but women were always there. Mm-hmm. If they wasn't counting the money, if they wasn't helping the dude move it around, I'm gonna tell you right now, and I ain't gonna put no names out there, but if it wasn't for a lot of women, a lot of dudes wouldn't have got no money. But because women help move that money around, right, Lou? Women help count that money. Women help get it the way it needed to go, straight up. Because dudes ain't want to do it. They get a girl for whatever reason, and they, give her XYZ amount of dollars and to get where it got to go. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's real talk. On another call. Okay, callers.
Hello, caller.
Yes.
Caller.
Let's hear you talk,
Miss
caller.
T. You here with Miss T?
Hello.
Hello?
Yes, you here with Miss T. We hear you. Caller, we hear you. Caller.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
You got it back.
Yes.
Yeah, we hear you.
I just wanted to tell Miss T I love the book, Miss T.
Oh, thank you.
This is Alpo.
Who?
Alpo?
Alpo. Yes.
Okay.
Hi.
I love the book.
Oh, thank you, Alpo.
Okay, we love the book. Any questions you have for Miss T?
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks,
All
Alpo.
Right. Here we go. Just trying to tell you, man.
Love the book.
Yeah, man. It's a different story, man, because the women were there, man. You know what I'm saying?
And I want to say, although I was in it, I was always with a guy who probably was in it more because I definitely want to big up because there were a lot of women who were in the game who was really getting money.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them did jail time. They quiet. They did their time, came home.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely want to give a shout out to those women who did it. Not saying that what we were doing was right,
Right.
but I'm just saying you had a lot of women that was out there doing what they was doing, making their money, and like I said, a lot of them did bids, did their time, and you know,
In transition, thank you. So let's
yeah.
give a shout out.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So can you tell people where they can find you at?
Instagram, Harlem Heron or Heroin. Like I said, it has a double meaning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on mostly Instagram, but Twitter and Facebook is all the same name. I got a documentary that's coming out by Info Minds.
Mm-hmm.
Info Minds is doing everything.
Yeah, he been working on mine since August, but I'm patiently waiting, and that should drop. I should get the first draft soon, so it'll be on Info Minds. So subscribe to his channel, and it's definitely going to be good. You know, it's a lot of information in it, so I think that's why it's taking so long. And I'll be doing a show called Straight Talk with Miss T soon. So I'll be doing different interviews with people in, you know, different places. So yeah.
Where can they find your book at?
www.msteebooks.net.
Mm-hmm.
It's on Amazon. I think it's on wherever you could download a book. I think it's on all those platforms.
There you
go. Yeah.
I'm at the highlight Info Minds because there's some things in the book with my peoples I didn't like at all.
Oh.
I am not too much of a talker, but I don't know. I just don't like it had too many views for it to be some bullshit.
Oh,
so,
I don't know.
You know.
But yeah, www.msteebooks.net. I also published another guy's book, Pound Game. So, I mean, I own my own publishing company, so I publish some other people's books too. So yeah, Pound Game by Adrian Dulon. It's an urban fiction book, but it's pretty good. And part 2 will be out soon.
And where can we stay tuned in to all your upcoming new events?
Instagram. I post everything
on.
What
is that?
Yeah, Harlem_Heroin.
We definitely need y'all people to share this. Share this video, share Gangsta Lou, share everything for just get these stories out here.
Exactly. We got some Harlem legends in the building. You know, we appreciate y'all coming through. The stories
great
stories, and we needed that. We need to touch on Harlem a little bit more. But I want to make a little announcement. So, you know, this is my month, you know, this is Aquarius season. I got to put that out there, you know, and Saturday, hold up, champ. Let me do what I do. This Aquarius season, man. And Saturday, I got a big party at S&K's, you know, formerly known as 9-8 this Saturday. I want y'all to come out, show support, and come party with us. You know, it's my birthday, but the Beat 139 family gonna be in the building. Cause whatever I do, I represent the Beat 139. Everybody know that. So y'all come on out. Don't say I ain't tell y'all. Don't say you ain't see it on the gram. You know what I'm saying? Don Vito birthday party. You know what I'm saying? At S&K's this weekend. The B139 family gonna be in there. We just gonna have a good time. We need to get together anyway and party a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Bond. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a good thing.
Tell them what podcast you on.
Absolutely.
Oh, the Beat 139.
The Beat 139.
Beat 139.
We want to say congratulations. We want to say thank you to Gangsta Lou one more time and Miss T for coming to the show.
Look at that book.
Get your book. Get your book.